sure enough, I contacted Hubert and Carolyn, and they loved the idea. And I said, great, we're going to have one of the great American artists coming here. And I don't say that as like something that I'm saying because it's nice to say that. I really believe that even though Hubert is already well known, well regarded in the United States, many admirers, but I think this is just the first step actually. And I've followed him now for years. I've seen his styles evolving, and I've seen him getting into more and more exciting new forms. And I think to myself, ooh, this man, I hope he lives for another 100 years and keeps developing a new style and advancing. He is one of the great American artists. So we're incredibly fortunate to have Hubert Jackson here. And we have his exhibit at the embassy for a whole month. And I just think he is prince of a man. Hubert, would you and Carolyn be nice enough to say a few words? Because we love having you here.
Thank you.
This is here
Here we have it. Oh, please.
This is an incredible experience. I want to thank Paul for inviting me and Anna Maria. And when I first met Paul, he came to an exhibit of mine. He had called me. I think he had seen my work in one of his assignments, and he said, "Oh, I like this guy's work, you know." So, where are you showing? So I told him I had an exhibit in Fredericksburg, Virginia. So he came to the little gallery, Celia was about right here, and he looked at the painting and he said, oh, I want this one, that one. So he came, and then he came to my house where I live and work, and he got pieces from there. But since that time, we kept up, and it's just been incredible, you know, the amount of energy and the amount of enthusiasm Paul has for my work, you know, and just like, this whole experience of being here in Rome and doing the show at the embassy is like one of the highlights of my short life.
May it be much, much longer. You've got so many moments, you and Carolyn have so many moments of pleasure to share with each other and with us.
Absolutely, but I really appreciate it. You all. Great. Carolyn?
I'm so happy to see all of these wonderful faces, and like one of our new friends we met, they said, "Oh, you're the best promoter of his work." Yes, I will. Because we first met. I'm an artist too, so he found me first. Yeah. So we met in New York at the Art Expo, and he says, "Oh, very nice artwork." You know, so we kept in touch, and I've come to know him more and more as time goes by. He really is serious about the themes that he works with. The Civil War, everything that he puts his heart into, he'll study it. And then I heard some of you asking, well, how long does it take to make the painting? Well, okay, maybe 2-3 days, maybe a week or so, but months goes into research and putting all of the materials together, bidding on eBay for these artifacts from the war zones and the battlefields. You know, I put together the video. We went on a whole day, a video shoot to Fredericksburg, to all these places, you know. And so please take one of the catalogs.
And there are more.
Yeah, there
Tell
are
us
more.
something
So,
about your work, what you love.
okay, but this is his night. Okay, all right. Well, just before I met Hubert, an art dealer in New York, who was actually not from New York, he was from Venice. He put me in touch with an art dealer from New York, and he said, go to this guy. So I said, okay, I took my portfolio and I went to him, and he says, oh, I love your work. Most of my clients love encaustic, and that was the first time I heard of encaustic. Not the first time, but the first time that I really thought about doing it. So he said, learn encaustic so I can sell your art. Well, that's all the motivation I need, because I don't think about starving artists, I think about working artists and experimenting and really giving your heart. So I fell in love with this. So it's been over 10 years, almost 15 years now I've been working in encaustic. And Hubert said to me one day, he says, Carolyn, your artwork reminds me of an orgasm. You did. I said, I never thought about it that way. But it's true because when I paint, and I love to flow. I love the imagery to move. I love the organic shapes, not the hard edges and like Mondrian. I like his color, but the straight lines don't agree with me. I love the natural flow of, the wind and the sun and the ocean and the cosmology, right? I have a whole series of cosmology, this one, So that's what I love. And Hubert and I, when we work together, because he let me keep one room in his home to paint, so that's what I do. And so we'll talk about each other's work. He'll show me his, I'll show him mine. We'll critique each other, so it's very important. A lot of time artists work alone, and they don't have that camaraderie, unless you really are in that circle, right? But a lot of artists just work alone, and we don't. So, and I think you came up with a great idea on this trip. He said, Carolyn, maybe you and I should actually work on one canvas. You do some, I do some. So we're gonna collaborate. We're gonna collaborate.
One thing you can do when you're back in the United States is get on I-95 and drive down to Colonial Beach, Virginia, and drop in unexpectedly on Hubert and Carolyn, and just take a walk through the house and see what they've got to eat. I just love having you both here. I love both of your art. I think it's a privilege that we have you here, and so I just want to say thank you. Thank you. My great pleasure. And please, lots of food, lots of great company. Let's have a great night.
This morning.